Good morning and welcome to the 445 Productive Through Joy show with your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher. The show airs each weekday morning, hella early AF, 4:45 a.m. here on YouTube's Michael Datcher channel. Then 4:45 p.m. on Facebook Live. Today we're talking about light, being the light, using the light, being inspired by the light, and how that may enhance one's level of productivity. So thanks for being here. If you're new to the show, you can go to productivethroughjoy.com and see about us. We speak to groups, schools, and organizations about being productive through joy. A really innovative series of offerings, workshops, and lectures. So you can go there or simply become a subscriber here by hitting the subscribe button. Get all these videos for free. I did say free, 1, 2, 3, 4, free, and you'll learn more about what we do. All right. Again, if you are new, allow me to say a few words about myself. This is your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher, author of the New York Times bestseller Raising Fences, author of the acclaimed historical novel America, which just came out in October, author of the super recently came out in April, Animating Black and Brown Liberation, a Theory of American Literatures. So many books, so many things. My educational background is UC Berkeley as an undergrad, my master's from UCLA, and my PhD in English literature from the University of California at Riverside. Because I'm an expert at being productive. Board president of the World Stage, a great 501c3 nonprofit here in Los Angeles, guys. I don't say these things to brag or boast, but I say them because people are almost always surprised to hear of my background when they hear of my abundance and my productivity. I am the product of a young girl who was violated at age 16, gave birth to me at 17, and subsequently gave me up for adoption to a single divorcee. At the time, no biological father, no adopted father. Difficult times for the young MD, yet it's cool. Mo D famously said, "How you like me now?" And if I can be this productive and be so through joy, many people can as well. So thanks for being here. Let's dive in. We're talking about light today. And point one is that you want to ascribe to be the light, In the world of Donald Trump, darkness, being dark, being negative, being a liar, being anti-immigrant, being anti-people, being pro-Fox News. I mean, that type of ideology is at times wins in kind of a large public way. So it attracts people to the dark side. You see people kind of mimicking around the world now, leaders especially, his approach, trying to dismantle the free press. You hear leaders oftentimes saying when they're caught doing something, "Oh, that's just fake news," or people in our own government saying, "Oh, that's just fake news," when they're busted doing some type of criminal activity. Because that strong and wrong thing can have short-term success. We've seen that before. But we are arguing that in the long term, the light is going to win. If you know the show, I've been sharing now for a couple of years now just about going through a series of really serious challenges with people in my inner circle just not being in the light, choosing not to be in the light, and having some success in it. And it's really, it's a challenge when people around you in your circle are acting in that way, and that is holding the day, at least in the short term. And so the tendency is to want to lash out, be like them, change who you are and what you are about. However, we are saying that you want to trust the light. Well, how do you do that? I just shared a story about my own situation. How do you do that when the anti-light seems to be working, you're winning? Well, it can work in the short term. But I am saying and knowing that the universe literally is built upon light, both physically in terms of the sun, like our universe, the sun, a light. Without the sun, there's no photosynthesis, there's no food, there's no life, there's no heat. We are dead. And that's, I think, as we say, as above, so below, that is a metaphor for the power of the light, right? So although the darkness will come because the way that the earth revolves and it's positioning around the sun, we know the light is going to come. And if it was always dark, there could be no life. And so we encourage you to have a belief, a faith that the light will prevail. We call light love, which is how I think of light, is that shedding that light, shedding that love will prevail. I was at a festival recently and I saw an individual who I've had a long running kind of weird beef with. And he owns a shop, and I just, I just purchased something from his shop. Right? And when I recognized that it was his shop, because he had an outdoor little table, I wasn't gonna buy it because it was him. And he was certainly in lots of darkness, that's for sure. But I said, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna actually buy this particular item and spend my money with this African American merchant. So I did that, and didn't speak to him or anything, but just support his business, right? And I said that because I had a whole thought process that involved not spending money with this fool, you know. And I thought, no, I'm not gonna be that way. I'm not gonna subscribe to his ideology. I'm just gonna keep being me, keep doing me. I'm not saying you need to be ran over. I'm not saying you need to let people take advantage of you. Nothing like that. And you need to always stand up for yourself and speak your truth. And as you do that, keep it moving and keep spreading light. Because that's the point. You have to, the light works the best when you do it amidst darkness. Because when you bring light to darkness, that darkness becomes more light. Which goes right into point 3. Light will always overcome the dark. You can be in the darkest room, a completely dark room. I'm talking about pitch black room, and then strike a match, and you're gonna get some light, right? The light will always overcome the dark, and I really believe that love will always overcome the anti-love forces, the forces of anti-love, the forces of lies, deceit, treachery. Let me clear my throat. And so, as you begin to think about that, you want to think practically, what does that mean for my life, for my decision making, for who's in my life, for my current beefs? What do I need to kind of handle? And in the long run, love's going to prevail. And when the people who are in your life see you go through these processes, if you have kids especially, you're teaching them about love and light and the impact of productivity, because watch the universe organize itself to your benefit, because you are on the side of light. You can't even explain how it works. I can't really explain how it works, but I just know it does. You don't do it because it works. You do it because it's right, because love is what it's all about. Love is really all there is. And love, when you're in that spirit of love consciousness, it links to an abundance consciousness, because love is the thing itself. It's that infinite, original OG power. And when you are in that spirit, eventually, in the long term, that leads to hyperabundance. That's just my experience. What we believe here, what we do here, we help individuals tap into that. So, boom goes the dynamite. Thanks for being here, guys. We'll see you tomorrow morning, this afternoon at 4:45 p.m. Until then, let's talk about it and be about it. Deuces.